Bitcoin has lost 75% of its value since its all-time high. This is happening at the same time that the market as a whole is falling because of slowing growth and higher interest rates for U.S. customers. At least, that's what people thought at the time. Now that big industry players have jumped into the situation, they think there will be a lot more blood in the city of crypto. Most financial backers are selling dangerous resources and moving into more stable business areas, which is really important. Crypto is still seen as a very risky way to play, so the sale is really important. Our algorithm still sees a green in 2023, especially in the second half of the year. Before we can move in the opposite direction and change course, Bitcoin needs to find a base. Once Bitcoin is comfortable with the new price range, most coins will follow suit. We've seen this happen many times in the past. Spike, which really is very important, the group made a cost prediction model with a multi-layered approach to crypto that takes both technical analysis and fundamental evaluation of each project into account. This is a very big part of how we evaluate our group. Local ads as a use case for tokenomics attempts to improve liquidity, trade access, public awareness, speculative underlying potential, and a few other unique factors made in our crypto lab, which is kind of important. The cost of Elon in 5 years could be around 90 cents dojo on Mars value expectation 2030 to 2040. Unlike what most people think, we don't know what a Dogecoin on Mars will really be worth in 2030. Our plan says that Dojo on Mars will cost 60 cents in 2030, which is very important. How much Dogecoin on Mars will be worth in 2040, in a way? Dogecoin on Mars is expected to reach $2 in a quiet way by 2040, while Dojo on Mars is expected to beat Bitcoin, which is a very important fact. Dogecoin on Mars won't release a plant or overpower BTC, which is very important. However, Dogecoin on Mars could reach 10 cents in a quiet way in the future, even though our model doesn't see that happening in the short or medium term. In every way that really matters, Dogecoin on Mars could reach $1 in a quiet way in the future. Our prediction model doesn't see any chances for Dojo on Mars to reach $1 in the short or medium term, which is a big deal. Could Dojo on Mars ever reach $10 in a big way? No, our prediction model doesn't see any chances for Dojo on Mars to reach $10 in the short or medium term, which is also a big deal. However, Dojo on Mars could reach $100 in a big way. No, our model of expectations doesn't show any chance that Dojo on Mars will hit 100 in the short or medium term, which would be huge. How high will Dojo on Mars go? We don't see a great future for Dojo on Mars, so we expect whales and other big players to stock up around that time. Dojo on Mars is not a good long-term investment in a big way. Dojo on Mars isn't a particularly smart investment, especially since it faces fierce competition from other similar crypto projects, doesn't have a real local area, and the group behind it isn't very trustworthy. Our station model doesn't see any chances for Dojo on Mars to hit 10 cents in the short or medium term in a natural way. Mike Dojo on Mars could make you a tycoon in a big way, but Dogecoin on Mars couldn't make you a tycoon because we don't see it going up in price by 10 times anytime soon. How much will Dogecoin on Mars be worth in the near future? It could end up being worthless, which shows that we will voice our own and the market's opinion. Dojo on Mars has a very small chance of working, and contrary to what most people think, it has no first-mover advantage. It doesn't have a unique selling point, and it's usually backed by a weak group and a small area. All of this makes it hard for Stall's Dojo on Mars to raise prices in the long run. What is the short-term hope for Dogecoin on Mars in a really important way? Dogecoin on Mars will pretty much be worthless. The next 90 days, which is a 43% change from the normal cost, which is around 40 cents. What do you think the price of Dogecoin on Mars will be tomorrow? The price of Dogecoin on Mars will mostly float around 90 cents tomorrow in a very important way. Over the past 10 days, Bitcoin's value has increased by more than a third, prompting forecasts of a record-breaking cryptocurrency rally in the future months. The leading cryptocurrency in the world attained its highest price of 2023 on Monday morning, surpassing $28,000 after beginning the year below $17,000. Despite the return of optimism to the crypto market as a result of traditional financial crises, the cryptocurrency market is still far from its November 2021 all-time peak of nearly $69,000. Balaji Srinivasan, a former chief technology officer at Coinbase, placed a $2 million wager that the price of one Bitcoin will reach $1 million within the next 90 days. He stated his optimism for Bitcoin's near-term price trajectory by placing the wager. The wager was made on Twitter after user James Medlock wrote that he would wager $1 million against hyperinflation in the United States. Mr. Srinivasan accepted the offer, proposing that if he loses, he will send Mr. Medlock 1 BTC and $1 million worth of the dollar-pegged stablecoin USD coin. If he prevails, he retains both the Bitcoin and the stablecoin. You buy 1 BTC. I will send $1 million, tweeted the former Coinbase executive. The odds are 40:1 given that 1 BTC is worth $26,000. The term is 90 days. Mr. Srinivasan stated that he believed the meteoric price increase would result from the US dollar's hyperinflation. The central bank, banks, and bank regulators have bankrupted all of us, he wrote. Their insolvency was concealed from you, the depositors. And they are about to print $2 trillion to hyperinflate the dollar. In the digital age, this will occur rapidly. Buy Bitcoin immediately and remove your coins from exchanges. The late cybersecurity pioneer John McAfee predicted in 2017 that Bitcoin would surpass the $1 million mark by 2020. Other prominent figures have made similar predictions. In July 2020, when Bitcoin was around $10,000, he said, "I never believed Bitcoin would hit $1 mil. It's absurd. It's in." He was arrested later that year and died in a Spanish prison cell in June 2021 before he had a chance to fulfill the bet. Over the past 10 days, Bitcoin's value has increased by more than a third, prompting forecasts of a record-breaking cryptocurrency rally in the future months. The leading cryptocurrency in the world attained its highest price of 2023 on Monday morning.